So I'm can't believe I'm confessing to this. I truly apologize, right? And I hope everybody watching this can find it in their hearts to, help me receive forgiveness. And I folded, right? Something I have never done on this channel before. I have folded. So your boy has pulled Agugu with her signature, and this is the most expensive Wuwa character I've ever fucking pulled on, right? I don't mean that in like a literal sense, but in, in terms of how many pulls I had to put in for her, it was very, very expensive. I went to near hard pity, lost a 50-50, then went into the 70s again to finally get the guarantee, and I got the weapon at 73 pity, right? So the most expensive Wuwa character for me ever, nearly 220 pulls for S0R1. Was it worth it? Well, I don't fucking know. She still is unbuilt and I haven't tried her, right? But there's actually a very, very good reason why I went for Augusta. One, I simply like her, right? I won't pretend to try and justify this completely because I 100% like Galbrina and Chisa more, and now there's a chance I can't guarantee the both of them or guarantee the both of them's best in slot teams, but I do still like Augusta quite a bit. However, the other reason is she actually makes, team building on my account. Now that this game is adding a, extra 2 floors to the hazard floor in TOA, I actually, when I lost my 50-50 to Augusta, that was my first Verena, right? So this means I actually got an extra, basically Walmart SK slot. And she as well is very good at taking advantage of Mortefi, even if Yuno is a decent upgrade, right? So I have an S6 Mortefi, I have a Static Mist, I now have Verena, and I've seen a few gameplays of her at S0R1 with that team. She clears TOA in like less than a minute. Of course, played optimally. I'm not an optimal playmaker, but I should still be enough to clear as it's a new character, right? And then there's also the fact that she's actually pretty good in Whimpering Waste, so long as you time her rotations correctly to make sure that you do use most of your Resonance Lib 2 on the waves that are currently spawning, right? By the way, for those curious, the Augusta thing with like her time stop not always spawning in a wave, it is not a bug. It is completely intended. It's simply the way Whimpering Waste work. You want to time her lib 2 perfectly at the beginning of a new wave because there's multiple sub waves inside one wave. And this means you'll get full use out of it, versus if you use her lib 2 at the end of like a wave of 1 costs and the slashes kill them, it's not going to spawn the wave of 3 costs, right? Or the wave that has a mix of both. So do keep that in mind. Augusta's lib 2 is something that needs to be played around, and you won't have, the devs fixing this at all, right? But yeah, I basically fell for the Augusta FOMO, I guess you could say. Not really. I could have easily waited. I just really liked how much value she gave my account because of her free-to-play friendliness. And so I just went for it, right? So now I have like my Zanny, Phoebe, Spectro Rover team. And then I have my Augusta, Mortefi, Verena, or SK team. And then I as well have my Camellia, Sanhua, Shorekeeper team, Right. So overall, I have three very, very strong teams, right? Obviously, Camellia is a bit of a weak link here. However, she still performs well enough to clear all the game's endgame content. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Personally, I don't take Wuwa as seriously meta-wise as I do HSR. That's quite clear through my content, right? I'll talk about calcs and, how generally strong characters are and Wuwa are. However, I won't actually go in depth on like rotations, this and that, optimal substats. But in HSR, stuff like this is much easier for me to explain as I've been just around for a lot longer. So I've naturally picked those things up versus Wuwa. I've been playing this game more casually 100%. So I won't pretend to know more than I do, right? So yeah, this is the first time I've ever folded on my channel. Let me know if you guys folded for Augusta. Let me know in how many pulls you achieved her sequences, whatever, whether you got lucky or unlucky. Unfortunately, this is the unluckiest I've been. Now, you might be wondering why it is I don't sound all that mad about it. It's because this account before this, unlucky Augusta pulls had 6 50-50 wins in a row with half of them being early. So this is in reality just a minor setback that doesn't really bother me all that much, right? Still haven't spent a dime on any of my gacha accounts for about 2 months now, and I think I'm going to continue doing this. To be honest, it makes me a little more relatable to my audience, right? I do feel like in HSR specifically, I've become a lot more open to the predatory nature of just insane Eidolon jumps, and I talk about them as if they're normal, and a lot of people don't like that. So maybe going completely free to play will start changing my mind and perspective. We'll see how that goes. However, when it comes to Wuwa, this account has always been free to play, so this one literally since like 2.3, yeah, I haven't spent a dime on this shit. So yeah, love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. My first time folding, truly something going down in the history books. And peace out. Oh yeah, HSR V4 is in like 6-7 out. Oh my god. I'm so brain rotted, man. But yeah, HSR V4 is in like 7 hours, so be hyped for that. We'll see if there's any changes. Everybody was molding about March, and people were also molding about Dan Heng synergies getting nerfed for some characters. We'll see if anything changes or if nothing changes, right? Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night, and peace out.